Rahul Gandhi squats down with migrants.
कल जो हुआ माइग्रेंट को उनके रास्ते पे चलते हुए बगल में बैठ करके बातचीत करने का, वो समय है क्या? वो ड्रामाबाज नहीं है क्या?
Priyanka Gandhi lines up 1,000 buses to take them home.
हमें उनको मदद करने की अनुमति दीजिए, हमारी बसेस को परमिशन दीजिए ताकि हम उनको सही सलामत अपने घर पहुंचा पाएं।
From no one's people to everyone wanting a piece of them. Perception, politics and theatrics of the migrant crisis. Politics is a privilege, it will be played. Collateral remains the migrant walking on. And through the course of this news edition of To The Point, we're going to take you through all the politics that has been played over the migrant crisis. But first up, viewers, I want to quickly apprise you on the latest numbers on where we stand on India's fight against COVID-19. Well, we have now just about a whisker away, short of the 1 lakh mark. And that's the sad part because, you know, that's the deep irony of today. Because today, we are looking at opening up the country, talking about lockdown 4, lifting curbs. But today, India recorded the biggest spike ever in coronavirus positive cases. We now stand at 96,169 COVID-19 positive cases, recording 3,029 deaths. The worst hit states continue to be the state of Maharashtra with the total cases of 33,053 with 1,198 deaths. It is imperative to say at this point of time that 33% of the total coronavirus positive cases in India are in the state of Maharashtra. The second is the state of Gujarat with total cases of 11,379, recording 659 deaths. Tamil Nadu is on the third highest case list of COVID-19 positive cases with 11,224. Coronavirus positive cases recording 78 deaths. Now this information, this data was collated just about 20 minutes ago with my producer and I. So this is where, at least in terms of figures, where India stands with its fight against COVID-19. Now for India, with its battle of COVID-19, in the backdrop of this biggest pandemic, the lockdown. What has been the biggest story of India's lockdown? That has pretty much been the migrant crisis. Migrants forced to walk back home. Now, the ordeal of the Indian migrant is hard to fathom. Politics over it too shows no signs of abating. This amidst thousands of migrants which are continuing to march back home. Politics continues to be played. This is what's the latest. The plight of the Indian migrant. When it comes to the biggest story of this lockdown, what's a little politics over it?
I don't think this government is concerned about the poorest of the poor in this country. This is an elitist government. This is a government which is largely guided by the privileged sections. Rahul Gandhi went to meet the migrant worker. Show me one central minister who's gone to meet the migrant worker.
On Monday, it was Congress's turn to carry forward the verbal duel in a larger political war over the big exodus, the reverse migration of our migrants. Mr. P. Chidambaram was responding to the finance minister, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman.
कांग्रेस पार्टी बोलते हैं ये ड्रामाबाज हर दिन. मैं अभी उन्हीं के शब्दों को उपयोग करना चाहती हूं. ड्रामाबाज है.
Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman was responding to these visuals. On 16th May, Rahul Gandhi decided to ditch virtual press conferences, social media messages and briefly squatted underneath a flyover with migrants, reigniting an age-old festering blood feud.
जब वो दुख के साथ पैदल जा रहे हैं, उनके टाइम बर्बाद करते हुए उनके पास बैठ करके बात करना, बातचीत करना, उससे बेहतर होगा उनके साथ पैदल जा करके उनके बच्चे को, उनके सूटकेस को साथ कैरी करके बात करते चलते.
A story being narrated on foot by the voiceless migrant, mapping kilometer on kilometer, trying to make it home. has had minimum action or help but has seen maximum politics.
आज भारत माता रो रही है क्योंकि भारत माता के करोड़ों बच्चे, बेटे बेटियां सड़कों पे हजारों किलोमीटर चल रहे हैं, भूखे प्यासे चल रहे हैं। मैं सरकार से विनती करता हूं, इनको आप घर पहुंचाइए, इनके बैंक अकाउंट में पैसा डालिए।
Often accused of missing political opportunity, this time the cause of the migrant was quickly appropriated by the Congress and spearheaded by the Gandhis. If Rahul spoke to migrants underneath a flyover, his sister Priyanka Gandhi appealed on Twitter to UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, urging him to allow buses provided by the Congress to take migrants home. The UP CM eventually did allow it.
आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, मैं आपसे निवेदन करना चाहती हूँ, ये राजनीति का समय नहीं है। हमारी बसें बॉर्डर पे खड़ी हैं, हमें उनको मदद करने की अनुमति दीजिए। हमारी बसेस को परमिशन दीजिए ताकि हम उनको सही सलामत अपने घर पहुंचा पाए।
मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों,
Their mother and Congress President Sonia Gandhi was the first to make migrants a political flashpoint. When on the 4th of May, she announced that the Congress will pay for migrant train fare as the government was charging them.
ये विकट हालात देखकर कांग्रेस पार्टी ने निर्णय लिया कि हर प्रदेश में जरूरतमंद श्रमिक भाइयों और बहनों के घर लौटने की रेल यात्रा का खर्च उठाएंगे।
Political battles in this country have often had the backdrop of grave crisis. This time, a pandemic and its heartbreaking collateral has extracted the biggest price. While politics is a privilege and will be played, the protagonist of this story will just walk on. Bureau Report, India Today.
You know, one thing to actually absorb is that it's been now over 50 days of politics being played over the migrant crisis. Where does the migrant lie? Well, he continues to walk back. Absolutely no one in his or her corner, but politics pinned to the name called migrant. I want to take you through the timeline of how this politics was played right from the beginning. Let's go to March 24th when the lockdown was announced. Now, the lockdown was announced with 4-hour notice. Then March 25th, day one of national lockdown begins. March 25th, the lockdown sparked off a massive migrant exodus. Many didn't expect it, and then it all started. March 27th, the Congress jumped in saying government sent planes for NRIs, but why not help the poor? This was March 27th. March 28th, Rahul Gandhi called it shameful that government had no contingency plans for the exodus. Then March 29th, the PM comes out, apologizes to the poor for inconveniences being caused to them. March 29th to April 29th, the migrant walks on. After 1 month of the exodus, political pressure mounts, civic pressure mounts, and the government announces Shramik trains for migrants. And then April 30th, politics erupts over the centre charging migrants train fares. And then May 1st, the government says 85% cost borne by centre and 15% by the states. However, on May 2nd, various anecdotal evidence by migrants suggested that the railway charged them full train fare. Now, this was where Congress sensed political opportunity, because that is when, just a day later, Congress announced to take care of the fare of migrants. And that is when politics started peaking. May 16th, Yogi Adityanath, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, blamed Rajasthan and Punjab government for the Araria accident. I'll tell you now, the Araria accident was when a truck full of cramped migrants overturned, killing over 15 of the migrants. Now, that truck had come in from Rajasthan and one from Punjab, and the blame went there. Then, May 16th, Rahul Gandhi decides he's had enough of sitting and giving out social media messages, decides to meet migrants in Delhi's Sukhdev Vihar, squats with them under a flyover. May 17th, in a press conference, Nirmala Sitharaman accuses Rahul Gandhi of theatrics, of when she called him a dramebaz, and why couldn't he actually lift the stuff with them instead of sitting, talking, wasting their time. And this is when politics peaked completely,
And of course, on the sidelines of it, also the story where Priyanka Gandhi said that there are thousands of buses which are being lined up right now at the UP border to ask for permission from Yogi Adityanath government to allow those buses to carry and ferry the migrants home. Well, to be fair, the UP chief minister took a little time, about 24 hours, and then gave the green light and said, yes, you want to use your buses, use them, get them home. So yes, he has given that go ahead. However, not before a massive political row erupted from each corner. This is when I spoke to the BJP spokesperson, Sambit Patra, and the Congress spokesperson, Pawan Khera, just a short while ago on politics speaking during the time of the migrant crisis. Mr. Patra, who is playing politics in all of this? If the Congress is saying they play for tickets, why not allow them to? Priyanka Gandhi said that we have 1,000 buses lined up. Why not allow them to? Of course, Mr. Yogi Adityanath has done so, but what's the politics in all of it?
Now, first and foremost, today an interesting and a very important piece of news has surfaced. Remember, this Saturday, we had a gory accident in Auraiya in Uttar Pradesh. We had lost 24 valuable lives of the migrant laborers. And today, the truth that surfaces is, astonishingly, these laborers were traveling in bus. They were deboarded from their bus in Rajasthan, Bharatpur in Rajasthan, and forcibly police officers saw to the fact that they were boarded into an already loaded truck loaded with goods, and they were pushed into Uttar Pradesh. Similarly, the second trailer, the truck and the trailer had an accident. The second trailer was coming similarly from Punjab. Both these states, Rajasthan and Punjab, are Congress-ruled states. My simple suggestion to Priyanka ji, without any politics, is if she has 1,000 buses, why doesn't she supply these 1,000 buses, 500 to Punjab and 500 to Rajasthan, so that these people, the migrant laborers from these states, don't have to travel in trailers and trucks. They can come comfortably in the buses. And secondly, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, up till now, because before coming to the show, I had a word with Mr. Chief Minister's office. Up till now, Priyanka ji has not submitted the number of the buses, number in the sense the number plates of the buses, the name of the driver and the name of the cleaner, because she says that she has 1,000 buses to spare. So she has to give the names and the numbers.
All right, Pawan Khera, why this politics? Why not, the states which are ruled by you, start the buses there? You wanted to pay for trains, you could have done it earlier on also. Why politicize the entire issue?
Preeti, we have been flagging our concerns, and I must say, most of our suggestions belatedly were accepted by Mr. Narendra Modi and also, to an extent, now Mr. Adityanath ji. Our concern is, if you had to accept our suggestion, giving advance to NREGA, opening construction sites for NREGA, or paying for the fares, for the railway fare, or providing buses, or providing rations, why did you wait for a humanitarian crisis to set in? A crisis of this magnitude, where I don't find any dignity in even debating कि मेरा राज्य या तुम्हारा राज्य. We'll all have to work together, and that's what we've been stressing upon right from the second week of March, that let's work together. Now, I don't really want to indulge in this कि पंजाब में मेरी सरकार है, उत्तर प्रदेश में आपकी सरकार है. Boss, those days are gone. We'll have to work together. We don't have a choice. Nobody, you and I won't be able to forgive ourselves if we start indulging in this kind of politics at this stage. Yesterday, the entire day, 14 hours, the 1,000 buses were waiting there at the border. The media saw it. We all saw it on television. We saw it. Our workers were there. For the last 45 days, we have in Uttar Pradesh 60 lakh people. We've been giving them rations. We don't want to beat about the bush, try and play politics around. We have to do it because it's
okay. Let's
not forget, Sambit ji, no prime minister, whether it's ex-prime minister or Y prime minister tomorrow, nobody can handle this kind of a crisis alone. We all need to work together. Let's be very, very clear about it. अगर किसी की आदत है कि सारी स्पॉटलाइट मुझ पर रहे, सारा काम मैं ही कर सकता हूं, तो माफ कीजिएगा, वो वक्त चला गया. वो वक्त नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि ये क्राइसिस बहुत बड़ा है, किसी एक व्यक्ति की सेल्फ इमेज से बहुत बड़ा है. इसलिए हम आपसे फिर हाथ जोड़कर रिक्वेस्ट करें, लेट्स वर्क टुगेदर. प्लीज डोंट इंडल्ज इन दिस. जो ट्रेन के ट्रैक पे मरे, आपके राज्यों ने ट्रेन अंदर यूपी में आज भी, महाराष्ट्र कितनी ट्रेन्स भेजना चाह रहा है, आप लेना नहीं चाह रहे। कितना रिक्विजिशन हो चुका है, कितने दिनों से रिक्विजिशन है, वो सारी लिस्ट हमारे पास भी, बट आई डोंट वांट टू गो थ्रू दैट लिस्ट एंड ट्राई एंड embarrass each other. That's not done.
Okay, Mr. Khera, I just want to go back to Mr. Patra. Mr. Patra, you know, what is wrong with, say, a Rahul Gandhi going and meeting the migrants? Why get into this politics of it all?
I'll tell you. See, I really don't want to have a tutu-meme debate. It's a short debate, and I firmly believe that, let me put up some figures over here, which are factual. Number one, let me tell you that while we are debating this, approximately 17.5 lakh migrant laborers have been evacuated from their respective states. Rather, they have been transferred from their respective states and brought to their Gantavya Sthan, that is the state of their residence and belonging, by train through the Indian Railways. Of these 17.5 lakh migrant workers, this is the train distribution from the major chunk states like Uttar Pradesh up till now has allowed or permitted 778 trains as of now. Gujarat has allowed 513 trains. Bihar 385 trains, West Bengal only a meager 19 train, Chhattisgarh only 19 train, Rajasthan 33 trains, and Jharkhand 72 trains. My simple suggestion over here is, let's not fight and bicker. Pawan is a good friend of mine, and at the end he was saying, I pray of you, by haath jod ke hum प्रे करते हैं. My simple suggestion to my good friend is, हाथ जोड़ के आप अपने इन सरकारों को कहिए, please, to West Bengal, to Rajasthan, to Jharkhand, that please they should permit more trains. Remember, Mr. Amit Shah had written letters to these states. He had written a letter to West Bengal. Mr. Piyush Goyal is in talks with almost all these states. Please allow more trains so that the migrant workers can be safely transferred to their respective states. Number one. Number two, let me also remind you of the fact that as far as Uttar Pradesh government is concerned, 10,000 dedicated buses are plying on the road just for the purpose of transferring the migrant workers. Thirdly, let me also remind you of the fact that Ajay Bhalla, the Home Secretary, had written a letter to all the states. The SDRF fund has been given to the states. The states are supposed to see to it that no migrant worker, be it a BJP ruled state or be it a Congress ruled state, no migrant worker walks on the road. Shelters are there. Provide them with food, water, and then with great amount of dignity, transfer them to the Shramik Express railway stations. This is what is the call of the, I would say this is the call of the nation, and every state should follow it. Why politicize is my question.
Mr. Khera, urge your states which you are running to get more trains in. What will a photo opportunity of a Rahul Gandhi sitting under a flyover achieve with migrants?
Preeti, when Mr. Piyush Goyal tweeted that X state has not cleared or given permission for X number of trains, Mr. Ashok Gehlot called his lies, exposed his lies, Mr. Hemant Soren exposed his lies, Mr. Baghel exposed his lies, Mr. Nitish Kumar also. So each one of these states told him, I'm sorry, there is no permission pending with these states. So it does not befit Mr. Piyush Goyal to try and be very street smart in a crisis like this and just try and act smart. It doesn't help. It doesn't help the migrants. You go to the Supreme Court and say there are no migrants on the roads. You give 4 hours for the lockdown and you give 4 days for the Tali Thali program. In 4 hours, how do you expect you have unanswered questions about rents of these migrants who work in urban areas, who may have been living in the slum clusters on rent? No answers for that. There is no certainty. There was no certainty about their ration. Nothing. You just announce a lockdown. So it was a mismanagement of a monumental magnitude.
But Mr.
That cannot be. We'll discuss all that later.
No, before I go back to Mr. Sambit Patra, I want to ask you that one question. What will a photo opportunity interacting and speaking to migrants achieve?
If a leader can't even go and engage with them, sit with them, उनका दुख दर्द अगर नहीं बांट सकते तो किस काम के नेता हैं, हमें तो ये बता दीजिए. आप भले बीजेपी के हो, कांग्रेस के हो, अरे आप उनके लिए कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे. हम तो खैर कोशिश कर ही रहे हैं. कांग्रेस पार्टी has, believe me, worked very well and I am very impressed. Our youth Congress, for example, every minute, every hour you see people taking help from the youth Congress and they are extending help. I'm sure even BJP is, their party men are working. I'm not denying. I don't want to, as I said, I don't want to indulge in a tutu.
All right, okay, Sambit Patra.
Having said that, if a Priyanka Gandhi can set up a WhatsApp group on 26th March, can ensure that dry rations are distributed at the 4,000 per day per district in Uttar Pradesh. If we can as a party do that, भाई आपकी तो सरकार है, आपका तो निजाम है.
All right. Mr. Patra, a good leader should not just care.
वक्त आया है, करिए काम.
Okay, so Mr. Patra, good leader should not just care for his people, but should appear and seem to be caring. So what was wrong with that photo opportunity, which Mr.
No, we have nothing wrong with that.
But Ms. Sitaraman did.
I'll answer
Ms.
that.
Nirmala Sitaraman did criticize.
I'll answer that.
Yes.
I'll answer that. So these are very extremely important times, and I would say we all have to be extremely sensitive. To show sensitivity towards migrant laborers is not bad. But what Nirmala Sitaraman rightly pointed out is the dramatization of this whole thing and photo opportunity, using this as a photo opportunity is something which is uncalled for. Number one, remember, Rahul Gandhi has a track record. We remember Kalavati. Where is Kalavati today? No one knows. Did she do well after Rahul Gandhi meeting Kalavati? Of course not. We had seen Rahul Gandhi even carrying a belcha on his head. Remember this famous epic picture of Rahul Gandhi carrying a belcha on his head and saying that I am a labor, I am a Mazdoor.
Okay.
What happened to the Mazdoor during his time? Nothing happened. So only having photo opportunities is not going to help anyone, number one. Number two, well, Priyanka Gandhi may have set up a WhatsApp group or whatever it is to help people. Bharatiya Janata Party also, we had also launched Feed the Needy. We were feeding 5 crore people every day. I mean, that is a separate issue. We are all supposed to do that. But as far as the government is concerned, well, yes, ration to 40 crore people has traveled directly to them, 3 months of ration and then 2 more added months. And of course, through DBT, crores of rupees, to be specific, almost 40,000 crore rupees has gone to 40 crore people, through DBT. And remember the days when middlemen were most important. Today, we have done away with the middlemen. We have money reaching directly the hands of...
But Mr. Patra, ultimately, I'll bring in 10 seconds. Okay, Mr. Khera, I know you want to respond, but ultimately the big question would be, why not give more time? Why give just 4 hours for a lockdown when you could have given a couple of days, 24 hours, 3 days to actually let the migrant go home, organize those trains then, which you're doing right now?
Okay. Preeti, in fact, India's number of deaths today because of corona is contained, and thanks to the timely lockdown that we had. If we had allowed the chaos to take place then, you can well imagine what India would have been then and what India's situation would have been now.
All right, this could be a guessing game.
All this was scientifically thought of.
All right, okay. Mr. Khera, 20 seconds, please respond. I need to close the show. Yes.
Let's not jump the gun. Let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. Hope that we'll successfully flatten the curve. We will not get a second wave. I would not like to jump the gun, but I'd really like to cross my fingers on that. आप लॉकडाउन जब किए, बहुत अच्छा किए, उसके 4 दिन पहले अनाउंस कर देते, ट्रेन्स ऑर्गेनाइज कर देते, सबके अकाउंट्स में पैसे चले जाते, राशन मिल जाते. This could have been handled much better. As I said, Preeti, I hope you will have a debate after we've conquered COVID, and then we must sit and take this government to task.
Well,
let's then
hold
them accountable for what they have not done.
The curve. Okay, I need to thank our guests. Appreciate you both for joining us, and ultimately I would reckon in this political war, the collateral continues to be the migrant, because the migrant, even as we debate, is just walking back home. With that, thank you both for joining us. Well, like I said earlier, politics is a privilege which will continue to be played, but ultimately the protagonist of this entire story is the faceless, voiceless migrant. We've been getting you several reports of the hardships that migrant workers face and are facing as they're getting back home. But their ordeal doesn't quite end just on the roads. Once they reach their villages, like in Bihar's Vaishali district, the stigmatization is another story that they're facing, going through. Take a look at this report.
With no food, water or money, they were forced to leave the city of their dreams. These men, women and children in Bihar thought they are the lucky ones. They have managed to get back home in one piece, alive and well. But the ordeal doesn't end there. Mandev Paswan worked as a carpenter in Ahmedabad for 12 years, but the lockdown forced him to return to his village in Vaishali. He boarded a Shramik special train from Sabarmati on May 5. And once he reached Begusarai, he was taken in a bus. Mandev thought he was being taken to a quarantine center, but suddenly the bus stopped. The driver asked him to get out in the middle of nowhere. Mandev was told to go home.
तो हम सबको ले ही गया नहीं गया तो हम सब कैसे चले जाते अपने आप
नहीं लेके जाया गया
नहीं
तो आप लोग कुछ उतार दिए गए रास्ते
रास्ते में उतार दिए गए
गांव में भी आप लोग आपकी एंट्री हो पाई है
गांव में एंट्री भी नहीं हुआ तभी मैं बाहर भी रहता हूं अपना बगीचे में
For the last 10 days, Mandev has lived under a tree outside his village. The stigma around the city dwellers being COVID carriers meant he was not allowed to enter his village. A few kilometers away from Mandev's village in Pahadpur, where Manoj, Vicky, Mahesh and Subodh share a similar story. They have returned to their hometown after a long, arduous journey, walking along the highway and hitching rides from trucks. But their hardships don't end there. They are forced now to take refuge under trees with straw mats, once again shunned by villagers and ignored by the government.
हम आए हैं नागपुर से।
नागपुर से कब आए?
कल आए, चेक करवाए।
कल आए हैं?
हाँ।
तो आप चेक करवाने के लिए गए थे केंद्र पर?
हाँ गए हैं।
तो क्या वहाँ क्या तो आप केंद्र में रहने के लिए गए थे या क्या के लिए?
बोले हैं कि आप लोग ठीक है, ऐसा बात नहीं है, भी अपना इज्जत अथी से रहना चाहते हैं तो अपना घर जा सकते हैं।
Dani Sahani, who got home on a truck from Amravati in Andhra Pradesh, was kept at a quarantine center for just one day before being told to head back to his village.
वो और पब्लिक से निकल रहे थे, वो जा रहे थे, सुविधा सही नहीं था हुआ, सुविधा नहीं था, अब सोने उन्हें के दिक्कत था हुआ। वो बोले जो आप 14-15 जितने दिन हो किसी से मिलना नहीं है, अलग ही रहना आप लोग, ये सब जो है पानी उनी अपना पीना अलग ही साधन रखना हर चीज़। तो हम कहे जो अपना हमारा स्कूल में गांव को है कहीं भी है वहाँ अथी कर देगा, 14 दिन अपना चाहे जितना दिन रखना होगा रख देगा, अपना घर से नहीं हुआ तो कोई व्यक्ति खाना दे देगा, खाना भी ढंग से नहीं मिलता था।
And then there are some villages who have created their own quarantine centers. This village has cordoned off a ground for all the workers who have returned from cities. They are not allowed to cross the established Lakshman Rekha. Husband and wife are forced to maintain a distance. The workers' wives drop off food for their husbands as cautious villagers with bamboo sticks watch on to ensure there is no contact.
हम खाना देने आते हैं, खाना दे के चल जाते हैं, लेकिन बच्चा के नहीं आने देता है, नहीं यहाँ पहुँचने देता है। 3 टाइम खाना दे करके आज चल जाते हैं।
After the physical exhaustion of a journey covering hundreds of kilometers, the struggle doesn't end for these migrant workers. They have to battle the stigma around the virus with no help from the state government. With Rohit Singh and Sujit Jha, Bureau Report, India Today.
With that news report, it's a wrap on To The Point. But today, India recorded the biggest spike in COVID-19 cases ever. Over 5,000 coronavirus positive cases. It is also a time, and that's the bittersweet part about it, we are trying to open our country. We are trying to move on from the lockdown, try and open up as much as possible, balance the human economic cost of it all, which warrants only one thing, to be more careful because the cases are not petering down. However, in Karnataka, these visuals coming in from the JDS's headquarters, birthday celebrations of HD Devagowda at the JDA office in Bengaluru, where every norm of social distancing, every rule on social distancing completely cast aside to celebrate the birthday of HD Devagowda. JDS workers donated blood as well, cut cakes, celebrated. No one is wearing masks, no one is maintaining any distance. These were the visuals that played out. This is a country which recorded the highest number of coronavirus positive cases today. A country which is hoping to move on from the lockdown. And this is how careful we are being. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.